Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Afro Matt Show. It is episode 61. 61, yes. Episode 61. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for getting me to 61. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to start off this podcast with a moment of silence and a moment of poetry from our dear, beloved actress. What's her name? Her name is Anna Lynn McCord. I don't know what she's been in, but she has a message that I think is important for the world to hear right now. So we're going to take a moment and listen to this message from an actress.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I'm so sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So much laughter and joy, and nothing would harm. I can't imagine the stain, the soul-stealing pain that the little boy you must have seen and believed, and the formulation of thought quickly taught that you lived in a cruel, unjust world. Is this why you now decide no one will get the best of you? Is this why you do not hide nor away shy from taking back the world? Was it because so early in life, all that strife racked your little body with fear? If I was your mother, if the world was cold, I'd have died to make you warm. I'd have died to protect you from the unjust, the violence, the terror, the uncertainty. I would have died to give you life.
Thank you.
Oh, dear Mr. President Putin, if only I'd been your mother.
If only.
Perhaps the torture of unwrit youth would not within your heart imbue ascription to such fealty against that world that you thought was so cruel. Perhaps you would hold dear human life, and on this night, instead of Mother Russia, you would call me. And I would set your mind quite
That's a
free
good-
with the love that only a mother can give
That's a good bar.
and only a mother can take away.
Oh.
When holds she doesn't harm at bay and leaves her boy for the promise of a man. Whatever your story, Mr. President Putin, I can't imagine how it feels.
Okay, yeah, no, it's enough. I mean, you guys can look it up for yourself. I'm not listening to the whole thing, but I did put together a little something that I personally needed to get off my chest. That was Dear Putin, if I was your mother, and this is Dear Putin, if I was your lover. Enjoy. Dear Mr. President, so strong and wise, I see a future when I close my eyes. You and I, side by side, down your thigh my hand would slide, and you would kiss me warm goodbyes. Oh, Putin, if we were gay, there would be no bad days, no more war in Ukraine, just me and you would remain. Peace in Kiev, us sitting by the sea, a world around us in harmony. No more fights, no more blights. Oh, Mr. President, if you could see the future of you and me. I would hold you close and warm, lay my head upon your arm. Dear Putin, if I was yours, there would be no more wars. Just you and I among the storms. Wow, wasn't that touching? That was art. That's beauty. And that's what the world needs to hear right now. The world needs a strong voice. The world needs actors right now. The world needs Gal Gadot. The world needs Gal Gadot to sing another song with all of her actor friends from their mansions. That's what we need at a time like this. I mean, let me start here. Ukraine's been attacked. Um, it's under siege from Russia. Let me start. There. I don't know how. I don't know if the people that listen to this podcast, you know, let me just start there. Russia's attacked Ukraine. So yeah, Ukraine's been under attack, and they've been, fending them off for about 5 days, something. I really, honestly, I haven't been keeping tabs on it. I did, however, watch the new Kanye documentary on Netflix, and I watched the documentary called The Tinder Swindler. Now, not to digress, but I will digress. The Tinder Swindler, which captivated my attention. I mean, more than the Ukraine war, at least for the 2 hours at which I watched it, which is when Russia was attacking and fully invading Ukraine. I was watching the Tinder Swindler. This documentary is about a guy who is so good at conning that he tricks women into giving him money he pretends to live this lavish lifestyle, money, riches, babes, and he goes on Tinder and he talks to these girls, and he gets a girl and he gets into close contact. Then quite quickly he's like, "Hey, come with me. We'll fly on my private jet. We'll go to, some foreign country. We'll go to, not Ukraine. We'll go to, the Netherlands. We'll go to, Kyiv. We'll go to, Moscow. In theory. But so he has all these girls, but he only really contacts one at a time, and the way he organizes this is insane. He talks to multiple girls on Tinder, and he's a businessman. He's a fake businessman, but he's a businessman. So he's always on flights. So he's he's with one girlfriend in Britain, in London, and he's like, "Hey, I've got to go away on a trip." And while he's on that trip, he's with another girlfriend in the Netherlands. And then, maybe a week later, and he's telling all these girls the same thing. "Oh, you're going to be my wife. I love you." And then he switches up and he says, "My life's in danger. Help. Bruno has fallen. Bruno down." Or what was his name? David Down or something. But he sends them all this video of this picture of his bodyguard with like a stab wound or something. And then he's like, "I need to get money. My enemies are after me." And so these girls, it's a Ponzi scheme. He uses the money from one girl. He tells them, "Take out a loan. I'm a millionaire. I'll pay you back tomorrow. No worries. Just take out a loan, $40,000. They froze my account. My enemies are after me." He's always talking about his enemies. So the enemies are after him. He swindles these girls. One girl is being interviewed. She is in debt $250,000. Long story short, at the end of the show, don't want to spoil it, but they find him. They swindle the Tinder Swindler. Then this is a completely true story. They get him. He goes to Israel to be tried for his crimes. That's where he's from. And he receives 13 months. And then he's already out. He got out 5 months on probation. So he's out, and he's dating right now a supermodel. And he is creating cameos. And get this. Now this is when. So, he has a cameo. He's dating a model, and he's going to get he just signed on with a agent, like a Hollywood agent. So he's gonna have like a Netflix documentary. He's gonna star in a Netflix movie or something. Netflix original. He's gonna be in Euphoria next week. The Tinder Swindler. If this isn't the end of the world, I could care less about Russia. The Tinder Swindler's getting a Netflix documentary. The scumbag is being. Look, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I do care about Kyiv and protecting Ukraine. honestly, it's like a bipartisan issue. I mean, anyways, but the Tinder swindler's loose. He's on the loose, and I mean, it is what it is. But let's go back to Russia. I took a bit of a side tangent. Just watch the documentary. It's a great documentary, and the Kanye documentary, of course. Kanye documentary. It's called Genius, and it might sound self-absorbed, but watching this documentary, he is told no. It follows him. It follows this comedian named Cody, something like that. Something. Coachy. I don't know what his name is. But he literally stopped his career when he met Kanye like 20 years ago. And he said, Kanye's going to be huge. And he dropped his career. He dropped everything. And he just filmed this documentary on Kanye from when Kanye was like 20 years old. So the documentary is a 3-part series. Dude, this is probably a bad time to mention that this podcast is entirely sponsored by Netflix and Netflix Originals. I would like to thank my sponsors today, Netflix, for their opportunity to, let them know let my audience, my vast audience, know a couple of the best shows out there that are out right now. I already mentioned Euphoria, got that checked off. Tinder Swindler. Netflix original new movie coming out called, I don't know. I think they're making some sort of like rip off of the Tiger King. Watch that when it comes out. I'm sure it'll be ass. Anyways, so Kanye, the Genius documentary, 3-part series with the first part follows him from when he had nothing. He's just making beats for rappers on the street in Chi-Town, Chicago, making beats, dropping beats, giving out beats for free. He's trying to get his name out there, and he's just a kid. He's been making beats since he's like 14. He's been around people. His mom's an English teacher, Donda. She's a sweet queen. But it's truly incredible that this guy, this comedian, dropped his career. He was on stages, doing shows. He had a good future, and he dropped it all to record Kanye because he said he knew Kanye was going to be huge. Like, Kanye's self-absorbed, but it's hard not to understand why. When he was 20 years old, a full-grown adult quit their job to follow him around with a camera. I mean, what? I mean, if you follow anyone around with a camera, they're going to become self-absorbed. So he's making beats and stuff, and it follows him, and he goes to like a recording studio, and he's like 20 years old, and he's trying to show these people, he's like, look at this song I made, and he'll put it on, and they'll just ignore him, and they'll be like, no. He gets told no. He gets told no by everyone, right? And of course he has a couple friends, and he gets a couple tracks on, and then one day he makes a beat for Dr. Dre. Y to the busy, H to the is a, something. I don't know the rest of the words, but it goes viral. It's a mega hit. Dr. Dre reveals that song when he accepts his awards at the Academy Awards or whatever. Kanye now has his name. He moves to New York, and then that's the end of the first part, essentially. Second part's out on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm so excited for the rest of the series. I mean, Kanye West, say what you will about Kanye West, and he's having his drama right now with, Pete Davidson screwing his wife, or his ex-wife, his family being torn apart from the inside out, with at the very center of it being a comedian, nonetheless, a comedian that's 20 years old and has what disease does he have? Like Shit's disease? I don't know what he has. What is it? Lars? I don't even know. SARS. Does he have SARS? I think that's COVID. He has something that makes him shit all the time. Anyways, couple great documentaries out the bat. Let me take a sip here. You may notice I am not joined today by anyone. It's a solo podcast. They've just been very quiet, imagine. No, it's a solo podcast today, and it is, it's on time. Let's be honest. It's on time. It's on time for me. So it's just me today. I get to talk about the things I want to talk about today. And today I want to talk about the Ukraine war. And I want to talk about it a little bit more in detail. So I want to highlight some interesting things you may not know about. So the Ukrainian president, his name is Zevzakov or something like that. Zelensky is the president, but about 5 years ago he was a comedian. So let's watch one of his comedian sketches, where he plays the piano with his penis. He is a pianist. This is not edited. This is the actual president of Ukraine playing the piano with his penis.
И темы на вариации Балтийского берега за роялем.
Let's just skip. We're not going to understand any of this. But so he comes out on stage with his partner, and they're talking a little bit about. He's a performer. The pants are dropped. Alrighty, pants are dropped. They are in position to play piano. Now. Dude, people are crying in the audience. Fantastic. That's comedy. And that's who you want as your president. He's come a long way from playing the piano with his penis to now fighting on the front lines in the Ukrainian war. Now, if that's not a come-up story, I don't know what is. That's a character arc right there. I mean, playing the piano with your penis to now, dude, even like Joe Biden, I mean, that ancient being, he offered the president of Ukraine a ticket out of Ukraine. He's like, hey man, you want to dip, bro? Like, why are you even still there? Because that's an American thought. Thinking that you want to leave is innately American. Ted Cruz. What did Ted Cruz when it got cold? What did he do when it got cold in Texas? He left. Because what are you going to do? I mean, can you blame the dude? He has money. He wants to leave. It's cold. He's going to go to Florida or I don't know, the Caribbean, wherever he went. Cuba. I don't know where he went, but it is an American thought to just leave because there's nothing. There's no sense of there's nothing to fight for, essentially. Until there is. Right now, there's nothing to fight for because, I mean, what would we fight for? Are we going to fight for? No one's invading. Canada's going to invade us. There's nothing to fight for. I mean, if Russia left us, I mean, half of these people are there are people that actually identify as communist Marxists. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like, would they just help them? I mean, maybe. But communism, you guys haven't seen communism work right. It just hasn't been implemented right. Okay, I'll just leave. I mean, half of the country would actually just leave. It's like There, like, no one would stay and fight for anything. There, and I can't blame them. I do enjoy American values, liberties, freedoms. Fuck. I mean, if Ukraine wins, I'll just go to Ukraine. They seem to have, sense of nationalism, sense of something to fight for, sense of self, sense of togetherness, a sense of, and maybe it's because they're a smaller country, but a sense of, what is it? I don't know. Well, it's honestly whatever, but it's just it's the world we live in, and I'm here for it. Okay, let's watch. What is this? Let's just go into some. Let's go into some juice news. Not Jude news. Jude news. Jew news? Oh no, I got a clip here. I got a clip of Ukrainian people creating Molotovs. So this is for when the U.S. government eventually tries to take everyone's freedoms one at a time. Here's how you make homemade napalm. So Ukraine, they are putting alcohol and tiny styrofoam pellets into a beer bottle. This not only creates a Molotov cocktail, but this creates a napalm cocktail. This is a TikTok, by the way, of little kids creating Molotov napalm cocktails. This is a TikTok. They're laughing. Old ladies are laughing. Moms with children, teaching them how to make Molotov cocktails. Kids stacking bottles. The men stacking bottles. Oh, some people shaving styrofoam. Styrofoam being loaded into bottles. Hugs all around. Oh, get the gasoline. Get the gasoline. Oh, kid in a dinosaur hat filling his bottle with styrofoam. Oh, coffee for everyone. Coffee on the house. Isn't that exciting? I mean, look, I'm here for Ukraine, but I mean, this is really just the darkest timeline. It's literally napalm. This guy in the comments said, "I remember putting styrofoam blocks in buckets of gasoline when I was younger. It turned to goop. It would literally burn for hours." Dude, man literally created napalm as a kid. I mean, I don't ever like the glorification of civil anytime civilians have to take up arms instead of, being defended by their country of people that, chose to do that with their lives. I don't like normalizing or making TikToks of that. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm not quite sure how to verbalize it, but something about kids with a kid with a dinosaur hat stuffing styrofoam into a bottle to make napalm, it doesn't sit right with me. And that's my white privilege moment of the day. That's my freedom privilege of the day. But it is interesting because I did not know how to make napalm before the Ukraine war, and I do know how to make napalm now. So, worst case scenario, I know how to make napalm. And I feel like that's somehow illegal. That's illegal thought. That's thought crime. Knowing how to make napalm feels like thought crime. All right, guys, let's start this. So this video is pretty awesome. So I'm just going to let it go. This is the state of the DC universe. DC standing for the comic books, meaning I don't even know what DC stands for. Something comics. But here we go.
New characters.
X-Men is supposed to be something that is, important to the now. And so what is more now than Zoomers? One of them has a TikTok. One of them has a fitness Insta. One of them is basically the moderator for the mutant subreddit. One of them is a cosplayer, and the other one makes mutant music.
Mutant music.
For so long, it's like the
listen to my
larger media
SoundCloud.
in the X-Men universe is like, mutants are bad, and like the X-Men are evil because they're mutants, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what would Zoomers think of that? They wouldn't. They would be like, no, they're great. Like,
who
Would
are
they?
under 21 and subject to the laws that triggered the outlawed event. This new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. Because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs with this new outlawed law, and she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of
What?
divine origin. Screen time is a internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion.
Logical
As a youth, he was
conclusion.
exposed to his grandfather's experiment.
This is the logical conclusion of a kid spends too much time on his computer is screen time. So if you take a kid that spends too much time on his computer to the logical conclusion, he becomes radicalized and becomes either a terrorist on either side. And he starts investigating shapes of skulls. He starts, asking questions about, what's going on underneath the pizza shop. Or he shaves his head, changes his name, changes his gender, and hangs up a Marxist flag in his room. I mean, that's the logical conclusion of in reality, that's the screen time superhero.
Experimental internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas, and that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web. Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins, and their names are very similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that
So we have
they don't see
superheroes, Snowflake, and Safe Space.
as derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Safe Space is kind of
You know what word I take and wear as a badge of honor? Retard. That would be my superhero name. Oh look, here comes retard to save the day. And everyone would be like, whoa, dude. You can't say that. No, he's wearing it as a badge of honor. He's proud to be retarded. Not only am I proud to be retarded, I just am retarded.
a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. Snowflake is non-binary and goes by they, them.
Oh, I'm so glad that I know that a character in a world where men turn into lizards and a man from Krypton lands on the planet and shoots lasers from his eye. I'm glad that we know his pronouns are they, them. That was going to be my first question. I don't even know what his superpower is yet. I don't care. I know I'm reading a superhero novel, or I guess a graphic novel. I don't care. I don't care what their superpower is. They could just sit on the couch all day, as long as I know that they are safe in a safe environment, safe space, and I know both, if not all, of their preferred pronouns.
Snowflake has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens.
Wow.
B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is great for a vampire character. And it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude.
Proud
We
ownership
wanted
of having a
to
bad
have
attitude,
big,
great.
colorful characters, personality clashes, romance, a diverse cast, which is something that the New Warriors titles have
Also, the girl with the backpack is fat.
always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like a reflection of the year that it came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested about it being now.
One of the things we've always done is be able to use our franchise platforms.
Okay,
It goes
we're
way back.
gonna skip this. This is Star Wars, but what's next up is really cool. So this is the new Batman novel that they're working on.
Hi, where everyone worships the rich and the beautiful. And no one is richer or more handsome than Bruce Wayne. He doesn't have friends, he has followers. My friend Jack Napier has nothing to his name, except good looks and a wicked sense of humor. The problem is that I love them both.
Shit.
I'm Selena Kyle, that girl next door. And in my opinion, a triangle is a perfect shape.
That's and that's the State of the Union address. I just thought I would share that with you. It's I'm excited to see I'm excited to see superheroes in the future. I mean, if we get more of these, I can see it being pretty cool. I mean, we have Batman in Euphoria. We have the They Them twins fighting off crime. This could be the new Batman. The new Batman movie comes out this Friday. And I think that they need to start getting rolling on some new superheroes for us Zoomers. Because quite honestly, I'm tired of men saving the day. I want them saving the day. Them being the preferred pronoun of Snowflake and Safe Space. And until they have their own mini-series on Netflix, I'm not going to be satisfied. That being said, let's hop into some TikToks here. We have, oh, geez. This is called, oh, I guess I'll tell you what it's called.
I'm no chef, but here's how to make my favorite snack. You start with some string cheese.
Oh, this is how to make melted cheese on a plate, by the way.
Arrange them like this, or like this on your plate. Next, take some extra cheese and add it to the already existing cheese. You can add many things to it, but believe me, you do not want to put popcorn salt on this thing. Next, you will open the microwave, grab plate, and insert inside microwave. Close microwave. It normally takes 2 minutes for the cheese to fully melt, but I do 3 because I like mine extra crispy. I'm making this snack because I'm going to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that just came on Netflix today, and I needed a snack.
Okay.
I just took it out, and
Ooh,
it looks
that's
good.
sizzling.
It might look a little burnt, but it's not really. That's just some cheese that is hardened. But that was just the other kind of cheese I mixed with it. And that was how to make melted cheese on a...
And that was how to make melted cheese on a plate. As simple as you'd think. Cheese, plate, heat. I mean... And don't ask why that's recommended to me on TikTok. There's some weird shit out there. I don't know why, but I know how to make melted cheese on a plate now. I feel like if you just told me the name of the item, I probably could have made it. Without a minute-long video. That being said, let's move on to the next video. Okay, so this is the last day of Black History Month, and someone's a little salty that women don't get a full month and they only get a day. Okay, so she is chucking Yankee candles down aisle 15 of a Walmart. So here we go.
You make no sense. What is wrong with you?
Don't matter, but her fucking pussy matters. Black lives don't matter. Her fucking pussy matters.
So Black lives don't matter. Her pussy matters. I'm gonna run it backwards with a real quick
My
wrong with you?
Don't matter, but her fucking pussy matters. Black lives don't matter. Her fucking pussy matters.
So she probably broke about like 15 candles there. I mean, it's just a great sight to see. People sticking up for, you know, their beliefs, and hers is that women. It goes men, women, black people in her book. She's not gonna let black people get one up on her. Not one up on her. Her pussy matters more than black lives in general. Oh, Christ, dude. Some people are wild out there. Okay, so this is newfound footage of 9/11. Trying to light the mood a little bit. So this is TikTok. I love TikTok for this very reason. This is first ever seen footage of this angle of 9/11. Someone found it while digging through their father's old tapes. So yeah, you are among the first people in the world to see this angle of 9/11 happening. I think I've seen every angle, and this was definitely a new one. So it's really cool.
Dad's old stuff. I think he's hidden this. Has anyone else seen this footage before?
Jesus Christ. So, look, guys. 9/11 was a controlled demolition. Sorry, it was. I mean, that plane just flew into that tower. The tower didn't even move an inch. Lots of smoke. 4 hours later, both towers are down. Building 7 down. Cashed in 3,000 lives for $3 billion. That's what we call ROI, return on investment. That's not controversial in the least. That's just stated. That's just at this point it's confirmed. They will never confirm it to be real, unless it gets leaked, like Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Because if it came out the truth that 9/11 was a controlled demolition, there probably wouldn't be. No one would care. Honestly, no one would care. There would. I want to say that there would be riots in the street, but no one would care. Really, honestly, no one would care. Everyone would be like, huh. Yeah, I always kind of had my suspicions. Huh. I guess my government really did kill 3,000 people. Well. Huh. And then they remember, wait, also on 9/11, something flew into the Pentagon too. So if 9/11 was an inside job, then why would they shoot a plane into their own building? Let me look up real quick. What part of the building did they hit? Oh, it was the complete opposite side of the executive's quarters. Okay, so low-level workers were working there. What else did they have? Oh, important documents and redacted information. Okay. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, what are we getting for dinner? You guys want to split the shrimp basket? Okay. Yeah, nice. It would literally mean next to nothing if they released that 9/11 was an inside job, which it was. This video might not make it onto YouTube. Let's watch a video of a guy beating up a kangaroo.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. This kangaroo's attacking me. So you want to know how to fight a kangaroo? First, you shake their hand and agree to a fair fight. And after a quick kiss, we brawl. Stand up, push them back.
Dude, this guy's
now,
just
don't be intimidated when they bite you or kick you. You simply have
Dude, kangaroos are so weird.
to just bite and kick them back. Oh, just wait till he's 6 foot 200 pounds. Is that Kevin? Oh.
It's an emu, a possum. Let's finish it off with a video of a woman eating a rock on TikTok.
Different type of echo. My children used to call it stone. This is echo.
So I looked into this, and apparently these are technically not rocks. They are a form of edible clay found in parts of Africa where I guess they eat clay. Apparently helps with clearing out digestive issues, but essentially she's eating rocks. Just interesting because I mean you don't get to see someone eat rocks every day.
This is the Igbo one. This one, there's no sand in this one.
There's no sand in that
See
one.
the way we eat it.
This is how we eat it. Chomps it down and crunches that up.
You chew it.
You chew it.
Chew it.
Chew it.
You swallow it.
Swallow it.
This one. You break it like this. I've already cleaned it.
So that's a brick. Ah, my God.
Look, one.
I kind of want to try one, to be honest.
More flavor.
More flavor on that one.
This one. It's more dry.
That one's more dry. They all look pretty dry, I'm not going to lie. She's liking it. I want to try one. They don't sell it at Whole Foods, but it's because I guess... I mean, if they sold that at Whole Foods, I think it's a decoration. It's literally a stone. Like here, when she puts it on the table, it literally sounds like a rock.
You chew it. Chew it.
Chew it.
You break it like this. I've already cleaned it.
It literally sounds like a stone. She said they call it stone. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Next time, we'll come back with another great... Oh, I guess quick plugs. Yo, guys, if you want to support me, drop a follow on the YouTube. Watch this episode. Watch it for 5 minutes on the YouTube and 5 minutes on the... Or, vice versa. Listen to the first 5 on Spotify, then finish it off on YouTube. Switch between them. Hey, give me some views on both. Look, listen, that's how I do it just because, look, I like listening to the podcast. I listen to it on my headset when I'm driving home from work. But then when I sit down at my computer to watch it again, I pull up the YouTube. Look, I listened to it once, but I gave it 2 views. And with that, thanks for listening.